Hi, welcome to Never Not Knitting RI. My name is Justine and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about all of my whips that have going on. If you are watching this, maybe you found me from my Vlogmas that I did this past December, or maybe as a part of the Skein Scoop podcast with my friend Lori. But today I am doing a quick video to share mostly blankets and maybe a few other things. I have a massive pile of stuff over here. I got such positive feedback from my Vlogmas and people loving to see what's going on with my kids, and I think just everybody is like loves knitting content, right? That's why we watch podcasts. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about some of the things that I have. Some of these things you have seen, and there's a few that are brand new. Lori and I are podcasting for the shop on Friday, so you might see some of these things again, but that's okay. You'll just see a little more progress. Let's see. A couple things. New year. I'm not one to like create, have a New Year's resolution or try to like stick to a certain kind of thing. I'm just not good at it. The one time I did a New Year's resolution, I made a resolution that I was going to do laundry every day instead of like waiting for it to pile up. And I did it, and it was pretty successful. But then that next year came and I was like, forget this. So yeah, I don't do a lot of New Year's resolutions, but I do love to plan. And I was talking with some people from the yarn store yesterday, and we were talking about how knitting and projects can become really overwhelming. So I am definitely a process knitter. I love the act of knitting. The actual product is awesome. I love giving things to people, but I don't really care what I'm knitting. I just want to be knitting. So normally it doesn't faze me that there are a million projects for me to get to. You can see right here, this row of my cabinet, those are project bags. Those are project bags filled with projects. And then behind my couch over here, there's more project bags. On my couch next to me, there's project bags, like a lot. In the other room, there's more project bags. And I'm starting to get overwhelmed by that. So online, I was watching a lot of videos about people doing what's called bullet journaling. And a bullet journal is a journal that has like these grid lines on it. And it's just a way for you to keep track of things and to track things. And so I decided to do a bullet journal because I wanted to. And so my bullet journal is totally not great. I don't have beautiful handwriting. I'm not like super artistic, but I tried. So I have like a January page where I've got some goals and stuff, and then projects. And so I put here like active whips that I have. And I limited myself to only the ones that I was really actively working on. And that's 5 things. And it just got me thinking about how many whips I have and how many projects I really want to complete. And so my goal is to just work on these and try to ignore everything else, but don't cast out anything for January. Just don't do it. And it's okay. It's okay if I do, because it's just my knitting. I can do whatever I want, but that's where I'm at. I also have a goal of and I also made a page for like when I finish a project, I'm going to track it on this page that says 2024 project tracker. It's all my socks. I'm gonna list them here. This is a really bad picture of a blanket. A sweaters. This is supposed to be a scarf or a shawl, and hats. And that's pretty much all I knit. If I knit something else, I'll just add another little icon. But I would love to be able to see at the end of the year how many of each thing I knit. I'm just thinking about it right now. My nephew, Owen, he asked me to make him some new washcloths. What a 13-year-old boy. I don't even know. I love him so much. Okay, so let's talk about my knitting. The last time we were together, I was actively working on my Cozy Comfort Throw. This is a pattern by Molly of a Homespun House. I am using 2 fingering weight yarns held together. I'm using the Emma's Yarn Small A Day set that I got from the yarn shop and at Skein. And I'm also using white, it's called Mochi. The colorway is Mochi. It is Barocco vintage sock. So I'm holding the vintage sock with the Emma's yarn to create this marled throw. And I just pulled a stitch. So here's where I'm at. I'm absolutely loving this. Full into green. So a couple things about this pattern. It's meant to hold double. And when you're finished, you're supposed to go around and pick up stitches all the way around this large throw and make an I-cord bind off. But I was like, oh no, not doing that. So I cast on an I-cord, and then I'm doing a slip 3 with the yarn in front at the very end of every row. So at the end of every row, I'm knitting to the end and then slipping the last 3 stitches with the yarn in front, which is creating an I-cord on both sides. And then I have that beautiful I-cord at the bottom, and then I'll just bind off with an I-cord, and then I'll be done when I'm done. So I'm on, I think the 13th, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 13th color, which is this one here. And then I already wound up color number 14. And over Advent, when I was opening these, I put them on a barber cord. So here's color 15 all the way to 24. And it's really, really beautiful. I'm really loving it. It is one of those patterns that obviously it's just a bunch of knitting. So it could get really boring, but because it's, you know, exciting to get to the next color, that's been really good. I am ending every row. I'm ending every color on the same spot. So when I get to the end and I know I'm not going to be able to go back and forth again, I cut, and then I am knitting over my ends. You can see here for like a good 5 inches. And then now I can go back and snip these and I won't have to weave in any ends, which is great. I love this blanket. I kind of think that when I finish with this last color that I might go into my stash and get a couple of purpley things. I have a ton of purple and blue purples that I think I just want it to be maybe a smidge longer. So even though it won't be all Emma's yarn, I think that that's my plan, but I'm not in any rush. I'm picking this up and knitting on it when I really want something mindless and I just want to enjoy the colors and the yarn. It's so soft and squishy, and I love this pattern. I am storing it in this beautiful purple Black Pearl Magic bag that Lori got for me. It is so good and I love it. Okay, so this is blanket number 1. Okay. Blanket number 2 is using the yarn I got from my David Bowie Advent. So These are the colors that I still have on a cord to wind up for my David Bowie Advent. The David Bowie Advent was dyed by my good friend Gina from Skein Cocaine. So Gina did this Advent, and you got 24 minis, 24 20-gram minis, and one full skein. And the full skein looks like this wound up. It's perfect. It's perfect. So I decided to knit the Sweet Shop Blanket by Laura Penrose out of this Advent. And I am using the Sweet Shop Blanket, I'll put in a picture. It's made up of these squares, and each square is divided in half like a triangle into 2 triangles. And so you have one main color, and the other color of each square is the minis held double because it's a DK weight blanket. So I chose to use black as my main color, and I'm using Rios by Malabrigo, which is technically a worsted weight yarn. However, I use it interchangeably for DK often. So I started, I don't even know what day. I think it was like right at the beginning of January. I started my Sweet Shop Blanket, and I have gotten quite a bit done. You can see I'm in the middle of one of those triangles, or I finished the color triangle here. But so this is the triangle that you start on. And so I chose one of the blues, and you knit the halfway, and then you add the black, and you decrease until you make the square. And then you pick up on this side and knit a certain way, and you pick up on this side and you knit a certain way. And then every square in the middle between these guys, you knit a different way. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I did was I took all of the minis that I got on the barber cord, and I was like, anything that, when I would pull out a color, right? So this first one is this color here. So I pulled it off of the barber cord, wound it up, and I'm pulling from the inside and the outside to make the triangle. And then when I'm done with this color, I'm putting it into this big basket that I have here. So once I have pulled them all off of here and worked them at least once, then I can go back and start grabbing and doing them again. So I'll be able to make 2 squares from each mini skein. Then I realized that I was gonna get, this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares by 3 so far, completed, like a rectangle. I want a big blanket. I want a huge blanket. So I was talking about it, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna use this in the blanket, and I should be able to get 10 squares in this colorway, which is great. That one I already did. It's this beautiful square right here. So I'm gonna have a lot of those sprinkled in. That'll be fun. And then I was like, oh, but I really want it to be even bigger. And so Gina found out, and she sent me a package. And in the package, she sent me these gorgeous bright minis. And this incredibly beautiful skein, full skein of fingering weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in. It's gonna just be a Skein Cocaine blanket. I'm overwhelmed by the generosity of people. I think it's just so kind, and I'm thrilled. I could not love this more. The pattern is really, really fun. I think the end result is gonna be awesome. I think I might have to do some kind of border, like maybe just like a single crochet all the way around the inside. And yes, I said crochet because guys, I'm crocheting now, okay? I don't know, I'm really loving it. I think it's perfect. I love the black. It's gonna be a big blanket because that's what I want. So this is really fun to work on. I highly recommend the pattern. Laura Penrose is the designer. She has some really beautiful patterns and I am inspired by her. I want to knit all the things. She even has a pillow, similar fashion, similar style to this, like patchwork style. It's very cool. I'm definitely gonna make that. Okay, so that's 2 blankets. Are you guys ready? The other advent that I got this year was the pink advent from Suburban Stitcher. And let's see, I was going back and forth on what I wanted to make, what I wanted to do with it. I still have it on a barber cord, except for the ones that I've already pulled off to wind. So this is the I'm Dreaming of a Pink Christmas advent, minus like 5 skeins that I already have wound up. Ooh, it's a mess. I have to fix that. I'm holding this one in this gorgeous Attenti Hope basket that I got from the yarn store. It is pink and fluffy and gorgeous. I shared this on the podcast, on the Vlogmas and on the podcast. I absolutely love this bag. It's so beautiful. And what better to put in here than an all pink advent? So I had been going back and forth on making a garment, making a shawl, what I was going to do. And the more I thought about it, the more I just really wanted to do another blanket. And I was like, okay, which kind of blanket should I do? And then I decided to crochet. So I pulled out a crochet hook and I watched some videos and I asked some friends to help me, and I made the decision to crochet the Battenburg blanket. And I'll put a picture in here, but I did not look up the name of the designer. Cancel. So the Battenburg blanket is by Sandra Paul. And I have learned about this pattern because I watched the Nitty Natty podcast with Natalie. And so I decided to do it. And I pulled out one of the balls and I wound it up and I made squares. I'm overwhelmed already by these, the ends. So I need to figure out, I need to watch some videos because I don't even know how to weave in ends in crochet. But yeah, so these are slightly modified of the Battenburg blanket. So you can see, look at how cute. All right, let me hold up just one. So you have the center section, and then the Battenburg blanket pattern is supposed to only have 1, 2, 3 rounds, but you can see I did 5 rounds to make them a little bit bigger. So I was able to make 5 from each mini, which makes sense because I have about 1 gram left. So they're taking a little more than 3 grams a piece to make each square. So I have 5 of each color, and I did 5 of this first color, and then I started my second color, and I still have a little bit left. I'm using a hook, an F hook, and it's pink. I mean, how perfect is that? So I have 2 more to get done from the first or the second color, and I'm finding this very fun. I know I don't, when I'm knitting, I feel like I'm pretty quick and I can like kind of relax a little bit. I feel like I look ridiculous when I'm crocheting. I'm like sticking my tongue out, like really focusing. So I hope I get better at it. I hope I get faster at it. The only thing I've ever crocheted before has been granny stripes. So, I mean, I have done granny squares, but I don't think I did it right. I've never done like anything intricate or different. So I think this is so cute. I'm really pleased with them. So the plan for the Battenburg blanket, you have a bunch of colorful squares and then you have a main color. And I'm gonna use the Barocco Vintage Sock in like a taupey color. And I think it's gonna be really beautiful. It's, I feel like they're not super dense. I feel like it's gonna be really cozy. This is going to be obviously a long-term project, but I feel like if I can get quicker at it, make a few squares every day or so, I'll be cruising. And then when it comes time to try to seam them together, I'll be a little more comfortable with the process. So that's my hope. The pattern is really, really great. And it gives video tutorials and step-by-step picture tutorials, which I find to be very, very helpful. So that's the Battenburg blanket. I have 2 more blankets to show you, and one is over there in that box, in that cubby, so I have to get it. Talk about not knowing how to weave in ends. Also from Nitty Natty, I was motivated to make a granny stripe blanket. I saw hers and I instantly fell in love, and I've seen other people make granny stripe blankets and I think they're gorgeous. And this one is mine. It's really long, so I'm gonna fold it in half so that I can show it a little bit easier. So I've been crocheting on this for a long time, and I just randomly will pull it out and add some stuff in there. So I think the last time I shared it on a podcast, I was down here. So I did a bit. Guys, I have so many ends to weave in. How do you weave in ends in crochet? I need to maybe I should do this today. Maybe I should make this my mission and weave these in. That might make me reach for it a little bit more readily. I think this is one of those blankets where when it is on my lap, it is lovely. It is really, really nice. I love having it on me. It's cozy. It's great. So I should weave in those ends. I guess I have to watch some videos on that. I've got one more blanket. Hold on, I'm gonna get it out of the cubby. I should have said that Natalie was inspired and she modified the blanket, the granny stripe pattern by Lucy of Attic 24, and that's also what I did. So I'll put all this information down below. But the last blanket that I have to show is in this beautiful Hohi bag. It's a Pampa bucket, I believe, in pink. Leather, love it, love it, love it. What am I doing here? Okay, so this is my DK weight jelly roll blanket, and this is a pattern by KF Jones. And I started this over the summer, and it was just kind of like mindless beach knitting. It's really a fun pattern. I was inspired by Kay from the Grocery Girls. Kay from the Grocery Girls. Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, sorry. Not like she's ever gonna see this, but I was inspired by her to do it in a DK weight, and I love this pattern. I am choosing to do, I'm not really sure you can tell like from this distance, but like my first strip was mostly pinks and purple, and then my second strip's mostly blues and greens, and now I'm doing like oranges and yellows and peaches for this next strip. And I'm going to keep going like that, kind of keep the colors sort of together-ish. I am using all scraps, and I'm using fingering weight held double, following the pattern, but using Kay's suggestions. I'm also, on this instance, knitting over my ends, and that is just saving me a ton of time. And I'm slipping stitches the way Kay suggests, and I think that that makes the front look so cool. This is a really fun project. It's one that I have that I know I can grab and knit a couple, you know, strips and really enjoy it. I'm using mostly yarn from people who gave me their row 1 minis. So I have that, and I'm really enjoying that. It is not on my whips that I'm trying to work on for January, but I don't know. Maybe I need to add it. I don't even know. So the things I want to work on for January, I want to work on my Bowie blanket. I want to work on my Cozy Comfort Throw and my Battenburg blanket. I'm not breaking it down and saying I want to do, you know, half an hour on each of these every day, although I feel like that might be a good way to get some things done, but I'm not. I also pulled out a sweater that had been lingering since, well, once December hit last year, I stopped doing any kind of sweater knitting. And I pulled that sweater out, and I did a ton of progress on it. And I can show you that in a minute. And then I also did a lot of work on my Cozy Knitter socks that were my Advent socks. So those are the 5 projects that I really, really am focused on for January. But pulling out these blankets was probably not a good idea because it made me want to work on those too. Let me show you the sweater that I have made a lot of progress on. This is in a beautiful, we call these project bags, not sock bags, but a project bag from Judy from Bags by Joe. We sell these at the shop. They are huge drawstring bags that fill a lot of stuff. She has really great fabrics inside and out. Love this bag. This is one of my favorite fabrics. Look at those llamas, they're so cute. I mean alpacas, sorry. Okay, so for this, I am using Hedgehog Fibers Tweedy in the Bliss colorway. Can you see that? There we go. In the Bliss colorway, which is the pink. I'm holding, focus. Okay. I'm holding the yarn in these awesome, they're called yarn sweaters. They are from Fox and Pine, and we sell these at the yarn store, and this one is the little fancy llamas. And there's my pink Tweedy. It holds the ball so nicely for a center pull. It is lovely. So the sweater that I'm knitting is the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. And I separated for sleeves, and I'm just cruising away on the body. The last time I shared this, the last time I did all this work in the last week. From here to here, separated for sleeves. I tried it on. I'm so happy with it. This is a very simple raglan. I don't know why it's showing that little thing. That's annoying. It's a really simple raglan sweater. It's a long raglan. It goes on forever, it feels. So I was getting a little worried that I was doing something wrong, that I had like really done the wrong size. I was super concerned. So I finally, you know, forced myself to put it on a barber cord and try it on, and I was really happy with the way that it looks. So this is the front. There's a little bit of short rope shape. It's been a long time. I believe there's some short row shaping on the back. Makes sense because it is pulling up a little bit. I think the color is really pretty. It's super fun to work with. All those little nubby nubs are so good. We have 4 colors of the Tweety in the shop. We have the Bliss. We have the blue that I can't for the life of me think of what it's called. I can't remember. And we also have the Noir, which is the black, and we have the original gray, regular Tweety. So this is such a fun pattern. Now I'm cruising along, so I've already done about an inch or inch and a half from under the underarm. I don't even know how long I have to do it. I'm just gonna keep going until I want to be done. I think I'm gonna make these sleeves have very minimal decreases, and then I'll do like a rapid decrease, and I might keep it like, what do they call this? Bracelet length. I might try to keep it like this. I find this to be really comfy. This is going to be slightly oversized. It does have a lot of positive ease, but I think it's going to be really good. So that's that. I was going to show you more things, but I think that I'm a little bit overwhelmed by that. So I'll just wait and show more things at the podcast. But yeah, these are the things I'm working on. Those are my goals. In terms of this YouTube channel, I have a goal of doing at least 1 episode like this, and then sit down like chat episode a month, and then to do 1 like day in the life kind of like sort of vlogmasy style with videos and stuff of the kids. But I think for this one, I'm just going to keep it me chatting with you guys about knitting and my projects, and I hope you like it. I hope that you're all doing really well. Like I've said throughout Vlogmas, and every time anybody talked to me about this channel, I'm overwhelmed by the support, and I felt really, really excited to do this. I think that it's nice to be able to do this. I love watching podcasts, so I'm really enjoying this. So I appreciate all the shares and all the likes and subscribes. I have over 700 subscribers, and that's bananas. I will absolutely do a giveaway when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So I don't know, maybe share it or like, whatever, comment. Let me know what you're working on. Say hi. I love to talk to people in the comments. It's amazing to me when people are commenting and taking the time to watch. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys soon, I'm sure. Take care. Bye.